Hello guys, welcome to Search for Ultimate. Today I'm going to make a review of Fire Emblem Engage. Fire Emblem Engage is a turn-based strategy game developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo. The previous Fire Emblem game I played was Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I will bring up a couple times in the review to compare. If you haven't played it, then you can just ignore that part. Okay, so the story. The game takes place in the continent of Elios, filled with kingdoms, magic, and mythical creatures. Here, you will take on the role of a divine dragon who just woke up from 1,000 years slumber. For some reason, you lost all your memory, but you find out that you now have to defeat the main antagonist of the game, Fell Dragon Sombron. To defeat him, you need to gather 12 emblem rings, each which can summon up heroes from different Fire Emblem games. Now, I don't want to ruin the story obviously, but personally, the story was a bit disappointing. It is a bit hollow and sad, and sometimes things feel a little bit forced just to continue with the story. And I am sorry if you like the main character, but I found him a tiny bit annoying time to time. It just seemed a little bit pathetic. Anyways, maybe I was expecting a bit too much because Fire Emblem Three Houses had a pretty good story. I don't know. However, there is still a reason why I would recommend this game, and it is because of the gameplay. First of all, there are over 30 characters for you to play, and you can change classes for these characters, which can change how you play them. And there are a lot of classes too. In order to do that though, you have to raise proficiencies for certain weapon types. There are 8 different weapon types, and they have their own uses during battle, which I will explain a bit more later. There are also 12 emblem rings, which you can equip to your characters. You can raise the bond levels between your characters and the bond rings, which allow you to learn skills and raise weapon proficiency and so on. This way you can customize your classes a bit more. By the way, you don't have to equip the ring to your character to raise bond level. One of the reasons why I love Fire Emblem Engage compared to Fire Emblem Three Houses is how you play it. So, in Three Houses, you had to do limited number of certain things each week, and at the end of that month, you had to move on to the next part of the story. This made me feel like being chased by time constantly, and this put limitations on how much level up I can do with my characters. What happens is that at the end of the game, I'm still left with a bunch of stuff unfinished and have to play in New Game Plus mode, which makes you repeat the same thing, more or less anyway. In Fire Emblem Engage, you can take your time between each chapters to do skirmish battles, which seem to refresh after some time. So you can level up your characters and try out different characters and classes before moving on with the story. Get the map. What you see right now is the world map. Each of these circles are destinations, and more will be available as you continue with your story. At some of these destinations, you will see enemy soldiers. These are skirmishes, and here you can get things like experience and other rewards like gold and items. At the end of each battles, you can explore the map freely. Here you can talk to allies, pick some items on the ground, or adopt animals to bring to the base. A bit disappointing thing is that while you can freely explore this map, there is nothing to do here. You can't interact with the buildings or move to different areas through this map. These areas are rather big, and I felt that this was a bit of a waste. Now, finally the battle. Fire Emblem Engage does a pretty good job creating battles that are both fun and complex at the same time. There are a lot of things to keep in mind during battle, and this can overwhelm you at first. Once you learn the rules, it becomes such a joy to play. First, there is a triangle thing going on with the weapons, so sword is strong against axe, axe is strong against spear, and spear is strong against sword. When you attack with a stronger weapon, that will break the other's stance. In Fire Emblem Engage, the opponent has a chance to strike back, but if their stance is broken, then they can't. There are also flying units and armored units, and they have their own strength as well. For example, flying unit is strong against magic, but weak against bow. The weapons all have their own range, ranging from 1 to 3, so you can take advantage of that as you decide which unit to use to attack what. Unlike Fire Emblem Three Houses, where the weapons have limited durability, Fire Emblem Engage allows you to use the weapons unlimited number of times. I remember in Three Houses having to bring a couple of the same weapons because I thought some of them will break. However, in Fire Emblem Engage, I could bring more of the various weapons and use them during battle. Also, there is an emblem rings. During battle, you can engage with the emblem, which is a system that allows you to modify your team in a unique ways. Emblems allow you to provide aid for the user wearing it and the units around it. Also, as you increase the bond levels between the unit and the emblem, you can use the emblem skills, some of which are very powerful. One of my favorite is because emblem skill Great Sacrifice, which can restore full HP to all allies in exchange of the unit losing all HP except one. So honestly, it's really powerful. There are also animations for combat and engage, which is extremely pretty and detailed. And of course, if you don't like the lengthy animations, you can always turn them off in the settings. Finally, there is something called Draconic Time Crystal. If you make a mistake during your turn, you can use this feature to wind back time. However, there is a limit to how many times you can use this, so remember to save before each battle. Now, the base. It is called Somnial, and you will probably come to it after each battle. There are a lot of things available here, and I will introduce some of them. First is the Plaza. Here you can find armory, where you can buy weapons, item shops where you can buy staff or seals used to change classes. There are also smithy, where you can upgrade weapons. Lastly, there is a boutique, where you can buy accessories for your units. Next is the arena. Here you can train your units, raise bond levels for your units. There are other ways to raise bonds, but this is the quickest. Doing it this way requires bond fragments, which you can get after battles or by completing achievements. Also, there is ring chamber, where the emblem rings are stored. Here you can learn skills from the emblem rings or strengthen the emblem skills. You can also go to your room to check out the previous cutscenes you might have missed. Here you can change the difficulty settings for your game as well. The only caveat is that you can only lower the difficulty. So if you start with a normal, for instance, which is the easiest level, the lowest level, then you cannot lower it anymore. I forgot to mention it earlier on, but when you first start the game, you can choose the difficulties. Also, here you can choose the mode you want to play in. So casual means that fallen units return in the next battle, and classic means that fallen units are lost forever. So you can choose different options here to create more challenging experience for yourself. Now, Tower of Trials. Here you can choose from several trials. In Tempest Trial, you will face several consecutive challenging battles, and here you can get some rare materials for improving emblem skills. There are also Relay Trials and Outrealm Trials, where you can play with other players online. Personally, I have never tried it. Please tell me your experience in the comment below. Now, lastly, there are some small activities you can do here at the base. First is fishing. You can get some fish and bond fragments for catching the fish. Also, there is Wyvern Ride, where by completing, you can get bond fragments and some expendable items such as elixirs. There is actually one thing I found annoying in Fire Emblem Engage I want to mention. It is how this user interface is laid out. For example, when I try to raise the bond level, it doesn't tell me what emblem ring the character is currently equipped with. In order to check it, I have to exit and open up the menu and go to the emblem rings to check out. I come across similar issues as I interact with the shops and stuff. Alright, so the conclusion. The story in Fire Emblem Engage leaves much to be desired. The story is a bit hollow and empty, and the communications between characters seem forced just to get the story going. Sometimes I am left wondering what just happened. Thankfully, it redeems itself in other areas of the game. Fire Emblem Engage is an excellent game that is sure to provide hours of entertainment for fans of the turn-based strategy games and newcomers alike. The game's graphics are beautiful, and the deep strategic elements during battles make it a game that should not be missed. I would give this game 8 out of 10. Okay, so that is it for the review. If you have any questions about the game, please leave a comment down below and I will answer it as quickly as I can. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Alright, so thank you for watching guys. I will see you in the next video.